Hello everyone, welcome to another iRacing video, and you join us on the formation lap for this week's BMW 12.0 challenge race at Watkins Glen. Now, I come into this race battered, bruised and very low on confidence after trying this combo twice yesterday in the longer IMSA Michelin Pilot challenge. Both races ended in complete disaster, so let me just show you quickly what happened. This is race 1 and we're on lap 3, and as you can see we made a really good start. We're lying in 5th position, but keep your eye on Eigenram ahead. He's just going to get his line a little bit wrong and clip the grass. That's going to cause him to lose control. I gamble on him sliding to the left and it doesn't pay off because instead he rolls back and the contact causes me to lose all control. We hit the barrier hard and look at the rear view mirror. There's absolute carnage behind.
Right side. Clear. Your car has too much damage. We've got to fix it.
So yeah, really frustrating to have our race ended after just 3 laps. You can see how close we were to getting through, and you can also see how close we were to collecting that other car as we slid across the track. And with no fast repairs in the Michelin Pilot Challenge, we were forced to spend the next 15 minutes in the pits. Would we have any more luck in race 2? Unfortunately not, and this one we wouldn't even get to see lap 3. Watch Charles Baxley behind. He's going to try and force his way up the inside, but there's not really room, and we're going to get rammed out into the barrier yet again. It's so frustrating to have a second race ruined in the opening couple of laps. I really thought I was far enough ahead of Baxley to make that line my own, but he obviously had other ideas, and it was me who came off worse. We hit that barrier hard and picked up more damage. And if we watch Baxley's on board, we can see that he doesn't try to slow down. In fact, he shifts up to 5th even when it's apparent there's not much space. Oh, I don't know, maybe I should have just been a bit more aware of my surroundings and given him the space he needed to get by, but at the time I thought I was far enough ahead to defend the line. So that was yesterday's disappointment, but today we're doing the shorter 12-minute sprint race of the BMW 12.0 challenge, and as you can see from qualifying, we've put it 10th on the grid out of a field of 20. Now, that lap time of 1:57.7 is about 8/10 slower than what I'm capable of. In the races yesterday, I was lapping in the high 1:56s, so I do feel I've got the ability to push for a top 6 challenge here. However, yesterday's experiences have put a pretty big dent in my confidence. I'm really worried about lunges from behind, and I'm also really worried about damage. These cars get damaged so easily. And in the 2 Michelin Pilot Challenge races yesterday, we spent a combined total of about 30 minutes just in the pits having repairs. Thankfully today, we're in the 12.0 challenge. There's a fast repair, but I really want to try and avoid contact at all costs. So as the lights go green, let's try and stay out of trouble. And straight away my heart's sinking because I can see the car in front has got some severe ping issues. He's blinking and bouncing around all over the place. This is going to make it really difficult to concentrate. And oh no, look at him now, he's pinging everywhere. This is exactly what we didn't want when we're trying to avoid contact at all costs. We've lost another position. Kenneth Nicol has got by. Nichol's also made a move on Evan Thorne, and that caused Thorne just to ease off the gas slightly, so that might give us an opportunity to get one place back. We can move alongside Thorne, and we've got the inside line headed to the inner loop. Thorne backs out of it, so that's one position back, and that pinging car, it looks like he's run wide. That's a relief. And someone else is sideways on the exit of the inner loop. That looked like Nicol, and I think he might have taken someone else with him as well, so that's another 2 places that we've gained back. We'll go back and check out a replay of that incident once we've got this first lap out the way, but for now we're chasing Edmund Webb, and I think we're up to 8th place. The leaderboard will be confirmed when we cross the start and finish line to end lap 1. And I tell you what, it looks like Kyle Ranieri behind may have some decent pace. He's closed the gap pretty quickly, so I'm expecting a challenge from him. He may even have a look up the inside into this right-hander. We're just about far enough ahead to hold on to the position for now. But yeah, Ranieri is looking menacing in the rearview mirror. Final corner then to end lap 1. I'm reasonably sure we're in 8th position. We'll get it confirmed on the relative board once we've crossed the line. We've still got Ranieri behind. I'm hoping we're just about far enough to dissuade him from trying to move up the inside into T1. He gets really close. And after yesterday's races, the last thing I want is to be collected from behind again. But the relative board has confirmed that we're in 8th place, and while we've got a little bit of breathing room, let's go and check out the replay. Now we're watching the number 2 car of Benjamin Brown. It was him who got taken out by Kenneth Nicol on the exit of the inner loop. Now Brown's right alongside that blinking car at the moment, so that's not doing him any favours, and as soon as he gets clear of that, he's going to get Nicol incoming, just clips his rear, and they both slide hard into the tyre wall. Yeah, I've got real sympathy for Benjamin Brown here. Look how far ahead he is of Nicol. It's very similar to the incident I suffered in the second race yesterday. Nicol's going to go for a gap that's not really there, and it's going to send both of them sliding out of the race. Halfway through the second lap now, and we've still got Ranieri for company. We can't shake him off. He's going nowhere, and he might be thinking about having a look up the inside into this left-hander. He does do. We're side by side, but we're going to have the inside line for this toe hairpin. We've got no choice but to hug the inside curb, and we can see in the rearview mirror that Ranieri has taken a wider apex. He's going to get on the gas early. That's going to give him some extra speed. It's too late for me to take the defensive line. We've got to stick with what we've got on the outside. Will Ranieri stick it up the inside? There he goes. We'll give him a bit of extra space. In fact, we have to react and give him a bit more space. I tried my best there to avoid the contact. Thankfully, it was only light. We didn't pick up any incident points. Yeah, as soon as I saw Ranieri's line out of the hairpin, I knew that the chances of me holding on to that position were slim. He had the pace and he had the better line, and he made it count. Rejoining the live action halfway through lap 3, and after losing our 8th position to Ranieri, you can see we're beginning to lose touch with the pack altogether. They're more than a second clear, but we're going to get 1 position back. That's Edmund Webb, who spun on the exit of the hairpin. And in the replay we can see Webb just runs it a little bit wide, clips that grass on the outside, and that's what sends the rear right the way around, putting him out of the race. We're approaching the end of lap 3 now, and you can see we're 1.7 seconds behind Ranieri, but there's a big group of cars here battling for position. That's 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th, all separated by less than half a second. It's really close, and we've got to try our hardest to catch up and get amongst it. However, we've also got Sahel Harak for company behind, and watch him in the rearview mirror. He's going to get a much better line through T1, and he's right behind me now, pulling alongside on the outside. Now, I don't want a repeat of what happened yesterday, so I'm keeping it tight, and there's a huge accident in front of us. We got really lucky there because it was right in Harak's path. He had no choice but to get off the gas and wasn't able to make the pass. Yeah, it was Aurelien Favre who came a cropper there. Keep your eye on him. He's in the turquoise light blue car on the inside. And it's very similar to my accident there yesterday, except he gets clipped on the other side, and that is a huge hit. And it was Ranieri who clipped him. Here we are riding on board with Ranieri. There's the contact. And I tell you what, that kind of impact will part your hair. Just took a little bit too much of the inside curb there. That's got us a bit untidy going through the inner loop. We've missed the apex for the outer loop because of it. That's going to invite Harak behind to have another sniff. We're going to have to keep the inside line down the chute, which does mean a slower entry into this left-hander, but it should be enough to keep the position. Yes, it is, but we're going to keep defending because Harak's got some good pace. We'll stay on the inside for this hairpin. And as we enter the hairpin, I'm beginning to wonder whether this might not have been a good idea because it didn't work out for us with Ranieri earlier in the race. Harak wasn't able to time his exit quite as well as Ranieri did, but he's still got a bit of extra pace and he is going to pull alongside again. It's too late for me to defend now, so we've got to give him the space, and he sneaks through. He's run a little bit wide on exit, but that's no problem for him because he's going to have the inside line for the next turn. And out of nowhere, we see another BMW lunge in the rearview mirror. That's Sanchez who tucks it through as well. So we've lost 2 positions in 2 corners. once again there, my lack of confidence when it comes to lunges from behind was all too apparent there. I just saw Sanchez appear out of nowhere in my rearview mirror and it rattled me. So at the end of lap 4, we've slid from 7th to 9th and now we've got a back marker to deal with too. Yeah, for the second time this race I get done in the very same corner. This time it's Harak who makes his move up the inside, but the real surprise came behind again. Look at Sanchez in the white BMW. I wasn't expecting this move, but the replay shows the gap was there and he had every right to go for it. Now, just before we cut to the replay, we mentioned that we had a back marker to deal with. That back marker is Benjamin Brown. Remember him from the first lap? He was the one who was taken out on the exit of the inner loop. Well, I had a lot of sympathy for Brown for that instant, but I'm losing sympathy for him now because he's getting right amongst this battle between Harak and Sanchez for 7th. Brown has had several opportunities to let these guys by throughout this 5th lap, but he's chosen not to. Instead, he's trying to race them. However, he has pulled over to the inside line now, so is he going to get on the brakes a little bit earlier and let us through? Yes, he is. Well, I thought he was going to let us through, but he's not going to let me through. In his defence, I probably wasn't quite close enough. However, this is a little bit of a worry now because both Harak and Sanchez are through. And if Brown makes it as difficult for me to get past as he did the two guys in front, there's every chance that Harak and Sanchez are going to make a break for it. We're going to fast forward the live action a lap now because my worst fears were realised. Brown wasn't in a giving mood. He didn't want to let me through. And it was getting really frustrating because I could see how close the pack had got together again up front once again. There are 4 cars separated by less than half a second. That's 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. And I'm really frustrated here because I know I've got the pace to be amongst that battle. There's real positions up for grabs here, but we just can't get past Brown. Now, at the end of this lap, we're going to see the white flag. There's going to be one more lap to go. So at this point, I'm beginning to realise that Brown isn't going to step aside and let me join this battle. So I'm going to have to be a bit more forceful, which is never a position you want to be in when dealing with a lap driver. But desperate times call for desperate measures now. We're going to have to try and push as hard as we can to try and force our way past Brown and try and be in with a shout of battling for this 5th position. One lap to go then, and look at Sanchez. He's going to have a look up the inside of Ryan Walker into turn 1. And there's contact. They're both out. Sanchez and Walker getting tangled up on the exit of turn 1. They both went into the barrier, so in one swoop, we've gone from 9th to 7th. Meanwhile, Cordob and Harak are battling for 5th. And we can be with them if we can just get around Brown. So I'm going to go for it here. We're going to pull alongside Brown and try and tuck it up the inside into the inner loop. This is a risk against a back marker, but surely he's going to let me go now. No, he's not. He's still going to defend the position. Oh, this is getting really annoying now. We're going to have to try again around the outside of the outer loop. We've got a good drive. Surely now he's going to step aside. But no, he's not. He's going to go back and defend the line yet again. Well, I think that's it for our chances now. There's just not enough time left in the lap to catch Harak and Cordob ahead. But I really can't understand why Brown hasn't let us go by here. I mean, he's not under threat for losing the position. Look at the gap back to 17th place. Favreau is nearly 9 seconds back, so Brown has got absolutely nothing to lose by letting us by here, but he's not going to do it. We tried to get a tight inside line to see if I could pull alongside him, but we didn't get the drive. We're not close enough. Meanwhile, in front of Brown, Harak has made the pass to take 5th position. However, he's under a real threat from Cordob again. Now these two are going to battle right the way to the finish line. But for me now, there's not enough time left to get with them, so there's no point in taking any unnecessary risks to try and get past Brown. I'm just going to sit back and settle for this 7th position. And it looks like Harak and Cordob are side by side going into the final turn, and they touch. Cordob's on the outside and he's struggling to save it. He's in the wall and he gets ploughed into by Brown. We managed to get by, so at the death, we've grabbed an unlikely 6th position at the line. Well, it certainly was a last lap full of drama, and Sanchez was the first to roll the dice. He makes a move up the inside into T1. It looks like he's got it done against Ryan Walker, but then there's contact and they both fly into the tyre wall. Let's watch it again from above and look at Walker in the yellow and green car. I wonder if he should have just given Sanchez a little bit more room on exit there. And speaking of leaving a little bit of room, I certainly didn't get any when I tried to get around the lap driver, Benjamin Brown. I really thought that he would step aside here at the inner loop, but no. Despite being 9 seconds clear of his nearest challenger for position, Brown seemed reluctant to give me the place here. I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this one. Am I right to be a little bit aggrieved at this? I mean, in Brown's defence, he's clearly got pace, and he's probably got an equal amount of pace to me, which is why I'm finding it so hard to get around him. But is that enough of a justification not to let me past? Let me know what you think in the comments, but for now we'll concentrate on the battle for 5th, because this got really tasty in the final couple of corners. Harak's got 5th at the moment, but you saw him there. He ran wide on exit and went onto the grass. That gives Cordob the invitation to dive up the inside. Now Cordob's in 5th, but they're side by side going into the final turn. Harak's on the inside. There's the contact. 2 drivers going for one line. Cordob's into the wall, and then he gets absolutely poleaxed by Brown behind. And we got really lucky there. We could have so easily got caught up in that melee, and actually now I'm really glad that I decided to back off challenging Brown, because if I'd still been pushing, the chances are we would have got tangled up in that too. But here we see the incident again. Harak's on the inside, he's got the line, but yeah, Cordob doesn't want to give it up, turns in just a little bit too much. There's contact, and then there's even bigger contact with the back marker. So yeah, we really did get lucky to creep past that crash on the final corner to take 6th position. I'm really happy with that finish, and here we can see the classified results. And my fastest lap in that race was a 1:56.5. Now that's a personal best for me, but as fast as it was nowhere near as fast as the top 5. So I think 6th position was about as good as I could get from this race. It's also given me a plus 53 on the iRating, and that's much needed. I just got my rating up above 1400 for the first time last week. However, those 2 Michelin Pilot Challenge disasters yesterday came at a great expense. We lost about 130 in rating there, so it's really good to undo some of the damage. Well, that's it from Watkins Glen this week. If you've enjoyed the video, please do leave it a like, and please do also let me know in the comments what you thought about the blue flag incident. Was I right to be annoyed, or should I just man up and admit that I wasn't fast enough to overtake him? As always guys, thanks for watching and enjoy your racing this week. Cheers.